Hey everybody, welcome to Journaling with Patrick. In this show, we're going to talk about personal development, everyday life lessons, and of course, we're going to journal together. You don't need anything fancy to get started, just a willingness to reflect, and if you're like me, just use pen and paper, right? Keep them nearby. Let's jump right in. The prompt for today is, what's one thing you did well today? Simple, right? But think about it. When was the last time you actually stopped to answer that question? If you're listening and you can write, you just go for it. If not, just reflect. Like, think about it while you listen. You could even voice record your answer. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. And this is one of the 6 questions, by the way, I ask myself every day when I journal. And it's so powerful, really, when you think about it. Here's the thing. We rarely give ourselves credit for what we do. We overlook what we do well. And we tell ourselves it's too small, too easy, or just too normal, maybe, like it's natural for us. Or we just forget because life is so busy and we don't really have time to acknowledge, just stop for a moment and look at what we do. But I believe there is a bigger part to this problem. It's really like eating our self-esteem and self-confidence. Speaking of life lessons, I want to share a little something with you. I'm a big fan of movies and TV series and even video games, which I will talk about in this show a lot. And the other day I was watching Better Call Saul, which is, in case you don't know, this is the prequel that came out after to Breaking Bad. So if you haven't seen that either, just let me fill you in real quick. So Breaking Bad is about a chemistry teacher called Walter White, and he gets diagnosed with cancer. He has no money, no support, no insurance. And eventually he turns to making drugs to pay for his treatment. He specifically starts making methamphetamine, and it turns out he's so talented to make it that he ends up selling it well. So he ends up partnering with a former student of his. His name is Jesse Pinkman. And together they start building this drug empire. So in Better Call Saul, this show focuses on the story of the lawyer. So there's this sleek, clever, super crooked lawyer in Breaking Bad, and he has his own show later on, which is super good too. And he basically is very, very smart at looking at, more importantly, exploiting the loopholes in the legal system to get out, really bad people, to help bad people get away with murder, basically. And, when it comes to, the lessons that you could draw from these shows, it's so interesting, and I really hope, this lands for you. So both Walter White and Saul Goodman, the lawyers, they're technically villains when you think about it. I mean, we love these characters, but they're doing is wrong. But the more you watch this, it's like the more you relate to them. You start, understanding their fears, their struggles, their motivations, their desires. You even root for them, right? That's how crazy things get. And they're doing bad things, but you can help but wonder, would I have done the same if I was in that situation? And this, where the profound stuff hit me. And when you meet the bad guy, so this is the big takeaway. When you meet the bad guy up close, it's hard not to feel compassion for them. And the same should be true for yourself, that when you look closer at your own life, your own choices, especially the ones you regret, you realize that you weren't really trying to hurt anybody, that you were doing the best you could, and you have lots of good reasons for having failed or for having done the wrong thing. It doesn't mean you should do it again. It doesn't mean you're encouraged to continue causing harm or breaking the law. Don't try that. But it's true. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you lost a lot of money, or you hurt people, or you missed opportunities, and you feel the guilt, the remorse. But, the fact that you're feeling something says a lot about you. Because truly bad people, they don't feel it. That's the key difference here. That's what tells me that you have a moral compass. So you are probably a good person. You've made decisions you are not the most proud of, but we all have. And that doesn't define you. You're still growing. You're still showing up. I hope so. And you're here, more importantly, listening to this podcast about journaling and self-improvement. That means you care. So I want you to consider this. Holding on to guilt and shame doesn't make you more responsible. it only makes it harder for you to move forward and serve others the way you want. Like if you really want to change your life and change other people's lives, so I think you care. Like a firm believer that you want to also make some sort of impact on the world, even if it's not the biggest. So just let this go. Let all the shame and the guilt go, little by little, or all at once. Your choice, or whatever is not the hardest thing to do in the world. So, but you can't really pretend that it never happened. Like, you gotta face it, face the past and let it go. So let's go back to the prompt. What's one thing you did well today? Like, don't think big. Don't try to impress yourself or anyone. Just be honest. Like, maybe you went for a walk, good habit. Maybe you spoke kindly to someone, like you gave compliments to people. Then, you may have, pulled a smile from that person. Just write it down and sit with it. Now, think about it for a moment. Like, I really like doing this exercise every single day. This is one of the prompts that I use every single day in my journaling practice. And it really helps. And the more you do it, the better it gets, because you're going to look back at those pages and say, wow, look at how much I did. As a matter of fact, this could be a topic for another day, but I do use a tool, which is like a monthly review for myself. And I go back to all my last 30 pages, and it's just mind-blowing, everything that I did. And so thanks for spending the time with me today. I'm a big believer in personal growth. And, it's not about being perfect. Like, no, it is. And the more you embrace that, the more you're going to grow, the more you're going to enjoy life, especially. And, that's what my journal is about. Like, I am in the process of publishing my own journal, which is called the One Page Game, which is a gamified journaling experience that helps you reflect, but also has a super fun point system built in. And I'm even creating a community for it. If you have questions, let me know. I think I dropped the link in there if you want to, join this community. It's not a huge thing yet, but it's going to be. Like, I'm really invested into this idea. So you can come with me, learn more about my journal, the One Page Game, and we can journal together, take this podcast thing to the next level, right? So until next time, just tune in. Take care.